on what's happening in that area so far. Good morning to you, Echa.
Hello, yes, good morning.
Right, so what are you able to tell us in the Amasaman constituency?
Okay, so currently I'm at Amasaman MA Primary School Park. That is where the election is taking place, and we all know that Amasaman is located in the Gawet district of the Greater Accra region, and the incumbent MP is Akwesi Owusu Aferi-Mensah, and also the one competing with him is also Yaya Kassim, popularly known as Cash. And currently, everything is moving on smoothly. We have a long queue, which delegates are so happy voting. We have huge security presence here, making sure there is peace and order at the center. We have police station A and police station B, all situated at the same center. So currently I have the presiding electoral officer here to tell us what is actually happening on the ground. Hello. Hello, officer. Please, can you share with us the time the election started and so far what is happening?
Okay, the election started a little over 7 a.m. Yes, the election started a little over 7 a.m. So far, so good.
Can you share with us the number of votes expected to vote in polling station A and B?
Okay, so we are expecting that in polling station A we have 757, that is 757, and then polling station B also 759. In all, we are expecting 1,520.
So when do you think the election will end?
Okay, so the guideline is supposed to be 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. But then again, as we know in general elections, it is not to cut off at 2 p.m., but at 2 p.m., an officer will come and have the last person for 2 in order not to deprive people who have already seen something their day. So when it's 2 p.m., an officer comes at the last person. That is the last.
Okay, so that was the electoral officer we just spoke to. In fact, Maurice, people are really cashing in here. People are making sales here. Everything is being smooth. Everything is going on smoothly.
Right.
As I said early on, we spoke to the incumbent MP, which is Mr. Akwesi Owusu Aferi-Mensah, who said that he will surely retain his seat because of the developmental project he has done in the constituency. And Honorable Yaya Kassim, who is popularly known as Cash, is also optimistic that today, by the close of the day, he's going to win the election for MPP. So everything is being smooth, everything is going on well. As I said, we have huge security presence, making sure there is peace and stability at the center.
Right, so Echa, early in the day, we had some delegates saying they will only vote after they've gotten their TNT. Are you able? Did you pick wind of that?
Yeah, when we got here, we heard that the incumbent MP is giving 1,000 Ghana cedis, and Yaya Kassim Atta, who is popularly known as Card, is also giving 1,000 Ghana cedis, which delegates are so happy about. So people, as I said, people are cashing in here. So that's the information on the ground.
Right. Right. So that's Echa Abuaji, our correspondent, covering the elections for us in the Amasaman constituency. Briefly, we'll be going to the Dome Kwabenya constituency, which is an interesting constituency to watch. Our man, Edward Nyako, is keeping an eye on that particular constituency, which we'll be discussing into detail anytime soon. But Loratu, we hear delegates chasing after transportation before they cast their ballots. Per the rules governing these particular elections, you are not supposed to transport people and even accommodate them.
The party is supposed to give TNT.
Okay.
And that was mentioned a number of times, even by the National Youth Organizer and all that. So if you remember, during the presidential primaries, 50 cedis was given to each delegate.
Yeah.
moving to go and vote.
Right.
So that is the responsibility of the party.
Aside the other allegations.
But if
The other
any other
allegations we
person has decided to give money, the party doesn't endorse that.
Okay.
The party doesn't endorse vote buying, and it's clearly stated.
So-
the
so-
party is not encouraging camping of votes, taking of pictures of your vote, going in groups to vote, and all that. It's not. There's no need for congregation. This is not a conference. It's a voting process. So you walk in freely at your own time between the stipulated time of 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Cast your vote. If you want to stay there till the end of the process, you go into the outside the voting perimeter and stay and wait. But the only responsibility, the only financial responsibility in this whole process is the token that the party is giving to every delegate.
So what
if that
will you
is
do
what-
to what will you
if
do
that
to
is
candidates who
if that
flout
is-
this
that is
particular
what-
regulation?
What happens to someone who flouts rules? You remember during the previous ones, there were people who were accused of doing one thing or the other. They were held before the disciplinary committee.
Right.
The party has structures in place of that. If you also feel that something is not right, you can go to the appeals committee and do all those things. So all the structures are laid down, but we don't encourage it. So if it's the party TNT they are chasing, then that's in order.
I was just saying that, I mean, the presidential, I remember you gave 50
Yes,
Ghana
yes.
aside the ones that other
Well,
candidates
that one was...
also pulling your legs.
no,
down.
it's fine. That one was... Again,
Yeah,
I
no
mean,
mind, I'm just
but
pulling
you
your
know,
legs.
over the years too,
Yes.
because people come from probably far areas, people come early. There's some people who decide to be hospitable and give breakfast and all that. I remember even the orphan constituencies. I was an agent at Adentan, and the candidates served water and served meals, and everyone got one. Those ones are basic hospitable gestures. But the case where you don't have to go and camp them, chaperone them, no, we don't encourage those things.
So I mean, in this case where we hear somebody giving 1,000
We are
Ghana.
hearing until
I mean,
we
that's our
confirm.
correspondent
Yes.
telling us that.
Confirm.
I mean,
She has evidence of that?
somebody is giving 1,000 Ghana.
Yes.
There's a
Evidence
video
of that.
evidence.
Alright,
There's
she's
a
seen it.
video
So the
evidence.
police are there. The
So-
police are there to ensure that these things don't happen.
So is it
If you go
so is it
there,
a party
police are there.
members who must report these
Come
things?
again.
Is it a party that
Anybody
members
there
who
involved in
must?
the process, because at this point, it's party members that are there. There's a guideline that was signed by the General Secretary,
Right.
the Chief Administrator of our party,
Right.
and they are there. So if you are protecting the name of the party and you see something going contrary to, you have the responsibility to make it known. If you think there's something going against the security of the thing, the police are there. Just as if you see someone going against the voting process. Because even for the voting process, ballot papers, as according to the guidelines, are not supposed to be torn out of the ballot paper until the person is in front of you to take it. You know, there's this case where we are trying to beat time.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
even
yeah.
before you
Before
get
you get
there,
there,
they
ballot
tear
papers
it out
yeah.
before it is counted.
Yeah.
No. I need to be there. Go, my name is checked. I'm verified. I dip my finger into the indelible ink. Come to you. You tear it out, stamp it to validate it. Then I go into the booth and vote. That is the process.
Right.
And it cuts across every voting time. So we just all need to be alert. If anybody is doing anything untoward, we need to pick it up.
Right. So Doreen, we're looking at the MPs who are going unopposed, and we're talking
Yes.
about this gentleman, Samuel Abu Jinapor, who was a former deputy chief of staff.
Yeah.
A darling boy of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. I mean, we all know he's worked with him for a very long time. Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, one of the very vibrant MPs we've seen under the Akufo-Addo, Dr. Bawumia administration. So as I said, he snatched the seat from Adam Mutawakilu. Mutawakilu goes back, wins the primaries on the ticket of the NDC. He will be seeking to get his seat back from him. Loratu, is it going to be a ride in the park for Samuel Abu Jinapor?
Well, for me, that's my region anyway.
That's
my region.
Sure.
I'm from Savannah. And like you said, that seat has been a swing seat since 1992. But also when you're doing the analysis,
Sure.
you also need to factor in the fact that from 1992 up until 2012, it was Damango Daboya.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in 2012, it was split.
It was split.
Then initially we had West Gunja district that comprised the Damango area, Busunu and all those areas, and Daboya Mankrago.
Okay.
Then in 2012, so the first MP for Daboya Mankrago was 2012. So the numbers from 2012, if you're doing a trend analysis, you won't get it straight. You probably get from 1992 to 2008. Then 2012, you do that analysis without Daboya Mankrago. So that should also tell you that the Damango area, since the split, has really been swing.
Okay.
But the Daboya Mankrago area until 2020, the MPP hadn't won it.
Yes.
The first MP, Honorable Nelson Abudu.
Okay.
And interestingly, that constituency is also a place to watch. Daboya Mankrago, there's a contest going on because all the MPs so far have done one thing. You know, so when you come to Damango, Honorable Jenapo is going on a post that says a lot about how he's managed his constituents, but I don't think, definitely he's my candidate.
Certainly.
That's my party.
Certainly.
He has to win that seat, but he's going against a candidate who's coming back. Who's been there before, who used to be a district chief executive. You know, so, but, I mean, so far, so good. He's discharged himself
he's
well.
going in there with a lot of resources. I mean, this is a minister for lands and natural resources.
Well,
He has a financial
Minister of Lands and Natural Resources.
how would you have known he has resources if he was not?
But he's the Minister of Lands and Natural
How
Resources.
do you have?
He's going with the incumbent
Yes, but
advantage.
there are ministers that are with resources that are facing
So he is lands and natural resources.
Yeah, so no, but as even that enclave, houses is the place for the game reserve. So that alone is enough resource.
But no, he's a minister.
There are ministers going.
So the lands and natural resources.
See, the whole of Savannah is an enclave of natural resources.
Yeah, he's the
So he has
minister.
captured the
Exactly.
place.
So that should show you
So he
how
has a lot of
he has, made his resources available to the people. You know. So that's another interesting constituency come 2024 election we'll be watching. But I have no doubt that he will discharge himself as he's done previously.
But what do you think happened to Mutawakilo?
Mutawakilo.
Why was Abu Jenapo able
He
to
had a better
snatch?
competition.
Okay.
That's
I
all.
think Abu was stronger.
He had a better competition.
Abu was stronger.
Probably he was comfortable. He's been DC before. He's been MP. You know how you can get complacent at a point, thinking you have the whole area in your palm. Then someone is behind you and just like you said, snatches it away. And the moment someone snatches something for you, just know that you're holding on tight to it. It will be difficult for you to snatch it back.
Let's look at this constituency as well. The Karaga constituency. The MP is Mohammed Amin Adam. He is a minister of finance or a minister of state
At the finance ministry.
At the finance ministry. He was one time a deputy minister for energy. He's a founding member of ASEP, which is an energy advocacy civil society organization. I mean, he's been very much deep into issues of energy, issues of natural resources, issues of finance. The very first time he won this seat was in 2020, and that was the first time an MPP MP had won this particular seat. Doreen, you want to take us through what has happened in Karaga over the years between the MPP and NDC, and let's see whether Mohammed Amin Adam is able to retain this particular seat for the MPP, given the fact that this is the first time that the ruling MPP has won the Karaga seat.
Now, Morris, like you said, this constituency is an NDC stronghold, and we have the figures from 2004. So in 2004, the NPP didn't win. They had 35% of the votes. The NDC had 64.5% of the votes.
That's
very wide.
That's
margin.
parliamentary.
That's parliamentary.
Right.
Yes. And then in 2008, the NDC had MPP had 41.1%. The NDC had 56.2%. So you see that the NPP had gained some more votes, and then the NDC had dropped votes in 2008. Now to 2012, the NDC had 51.2%, another drop in the votes. The NPP gained and had 42.9%. 2016, the NPP dropped to 33.4% of the vote, but the NDC also dropped to 49% of the vote. Now to 2020, which is the turning point for the NPP. Now the NPP had 59% of the vote, and the NDC had 41%. So there was a very wide margin, about 14%. That's the wide margin.
2020?
That's 2020 between the NDC and then the NPP candidates. And so going into the next election, we wait to see whether the NDC either makes more votes or gets more votes, or whether or not they lose some of the votes, or the NPP either loses or gains. And so as Mr. Honorable Amin Adams goes unopposed, we wait to see what happens.
Loratu.
Yes.
What are the dynamics in Karaga? It looks like it was a split constituency, or it's always existed as Karaga?
It used to be, it's a split.
Yes, it was split.
I've forgotten the name.
Yeah.
There's another one. I keep forgetting the name, but it was one of those constituency with twin names, and it was split.
Sure.
So for Honorable, popularly known as Anta, this is someone who is tried, asserted himself, proving to the people. And I think that when it comes to the northern region, or should I say the northern part of the country, now northern region, northeast, Savannah, Upper East, Upper West, no, the dynamics are changing. Hitherto it was more like, okay, this is the area of NDC. But what we forget is that the fact that the Constitution stipulates that the person must hail from there, it's not for the fun of it. These are also indigents of these areas. Nobody wants to have a leader who doesn't think about them. And Honorable Anta is someone I know personally. He's asserted himself. He's been for his people. He's done what he can do. And everybody wants a candidate that will be out there and represent them. I mean, for someone of his stature, he gives them another level of appeal nationally. And when he speaks to issues of energy, you attest to it that it's difficult to really push him because he articulates them so well.
It was formerly with ASAP.
Yes, ASAP, you know, won his seat, became a minister, deputy minister, energy, and now minister of state. Finance. You really need to know your stuff to get this level of promotion, because a deputy minister is not, a minister of state is a promotion from a deputy minister. So he's discharged himself well, and I'm not surprised he's going unopposed. And I believe strongly that he can annex the seat come 2024.
Talking about the inroads that the MPP has made in the northern region, we've seen how many seats the MPP has snatched from the NDC over time. What will you say the strategy has been for you as a party? I mean, during the presidential primaries of the MPP, I mean, there were some who thought or were saying that His Excellency Dr. Bawumia had done so much work in the northern region. There were others who also say, no, it was a collective approach. So we shouldn't say it was one person. But really, what was the strategy for you?
So when it comes to the
trying
northern,
to get more seats from the NDC?
When it comes to the northern sector, in education like this, we are some 100 years behind the South.
Okay.
We're hungry for development. You don't want to be putting people who just think it's business as usual and think that, oh, because I'm from party A or party B, whether I work or not, I'm going to win the seats, whichever way. We are all now alert to gone are the days that before news gets to the north, it's some 1 week or 2 weeks or 3 days old. Now everybody gets information by the second. And we see meant everywhere. Why can't we also have it? And again, when it comes to the northern sector too, most of the policies of the NPP speak to the northern sector of this country. Right. For a long time, we've been talking about being the breadbasket of the nation and all that. But how far were we going from there? We may have had challenges with some of these things. But if you look at the policies to do with education, you look at the policies most especially to do with agric and agro-processing. You know, so most of these things speaks to discerning people who are also hungry to get the best for their people. So I will say the communication and the drowning in of development and how it can be done. And people like Honorable Amin and some of his colleagues have proven that if you are committed to making a change in your area, it's possible.
Right. But in 2020, for instance, even though you had won some of the seats in 2016, you lost them back in 2020. The Laura seat, for instance, Abe Fakabo won the seat in 2016 and then he lost in 2020. Bidzidin, takes over his seat. Are you very confident that in this particular election, 2024, you are able to maintain the momentum?
That's why I said that if you look at the way we are running the whole process, that should tell you we learned our lessons. We're not going to be repeating those mistakes we made. I mean, we snatched seats from the NDC. The NDC snatched seats from us. There also even some seats that ideally we shouldn't have lost. But because of certain decisions that were taken in the constituency, we lost them. No, we know all these things. Any independent political party. And you realize that, well, I don't know what will happen, but you haven't really heard anyone coming out and saying, if I don't win, I'm going. But 2020, there were even threats before the primaries process. There was a lot of agitation because of certain decisions that were taken. Right. So for some of us, we even thought that the 20 women we had in Parliament, we have 20 women in Parliament now on the NPP side, should have even been given that opportunity to go on the polls, looking at the way we want to bridge the gender gap. But looking at all that happened, you have to be careful when you're pushing someone.
Let's go quickly to Almighty Domi Kwabenya. It's a constituency that a lot of political watchers have so much interest in. The contest in this particular constituency is keen. We've seen a new entrant, Sheila Opon Sechi, a lawyer by profession. She works with the Rebecca Kufuor Foundation, works in her office as a director of legal advice and strategy, and so much more to this young lady who has, expressed intention to contest the Domi Kwabenya seat. We have Sarah Adjua-Safo, who is the incumbent MP in the Domi Kwabenya constituency. And we're also having lawyer Michael Quay Jr., who also wants to be the member of parliament for this particular constituency. We also saw what happened between her and Adjua-Safo in the lead up to the 2020 parliamentary elections in the Domi Kwabenya constituency. But we have our man on the ground, Edward Nyako, who will bring us all the details as to what's happening in Domi Kwabenya as we speak. Good afternoon to you, Edward, and I guess you're reporting from the Atomic Police Station.
Yes, thank you, Maurice. It's exciting here because, like you said, there are 3 lawyers contesting. So the showdown is among 3 people. Adjua-Safo, as you know, Michael Quay Jr., and then Sheila Opon Sechi. But the key thing is that Adjua-Safo is propagating that she has experience, and therefore there's no mistake and do any experiment out there. Michael Quay is touting that to the grassroots man in manipulative, and then people should make no mistake. Sheila says is coming as a compassionate, a dependable, and hard-working candidate to help the people in the constituency. We're looking at it. We do historically in 2020 the contest was between Michael Quay and Adjua-Safo, and Adjua-Safo was able to beat Michael Quay in the contest by 8 votes. Adjua-Safo garnered 496 votes, as against 488 by Michael Quay Jr. But this time round, If you really listen to what is happening on the ground here, it looks as if the contest is a two-horse race between Adwoa Safo and Michael Quay Jr. And you can hear some of the delegates saying that they're going to give Michael Quay at least 70% of the votes. But the people on the other side of Adwoa Safo are claiming they will give them a showdown and surprise them. But let's not forget, Npp is one of the biggest constituencies in Ghana with a population of 180,000 people. And the constituency came into the limelight due to what happened last year when we saw the incumbent MP Adwoa Safo leaving on duty post for about almost a year. And these threw the constituency to frenzy, and there were a lot of rumors swirling around her coming back. And indeed, she came back and said that to err is human, to forgive is divine. So she's asking the constituents to forgive her, and it was a family matter that culminated in her decision not to come to Parliament and now take her duties as an MP for the constituency. Ashila is saying she's compassionate and dependable and hardworking, and she's saying she to help the women in this constituency because she's working with the First Lady, and she's helped the First Lady to be able to reach out to the young women across the country and women in particular. Therefore, she understands the needs of women, and therefore she's giving the nod. She can change the fortunes of the women in this constituency. And when we look at the 2020 election, national election, the contest was among four people. But Adwoa Safo and Akugu were the two main contenders for this seat, and Adwoa Safo pulled 72,000 as against 54,000 by Akugu. So this time round, Akugu is coming, and she's been nominated or given the nod by the NDC. So we're waiting to see what turns out here, because we have 1,841 delegates exercising their franchise. Yeah, hopefully, at the moment, we're looking about almost 500 people have been able to do the needful, so the rest are gradually exercising their franchise. So we can look behind me, we're doing their work as usual as delegates, and we see Michael Quay around. Adwoa Safo is around. Sheila came briefly, but the two visible candidates are Michael Quay and Adwoa Safo. But if you listen to the applause on the ground, if that is anything to go by, which normally does not translate into votes, then you can say Michael Quay, his voice or his people are really, making noise here. They are talking about no mistake, no mistake, no mistake. Also, we heard that delegates were camped elsewhere. If you hear something like, oh, I just woke up at 5 a.m. and I've come to exercise my franchise. So, by and large, the security presence too is heavy. The police are doing their work. The electoral officers are also making sure everything is done professionally. And hopefully, by 2 p.m., the polls will close. And then we will be able to do the tally, the counting, be able to declare who has won these hot seats. That is Johnny Kwabena. So this is what I have for you.
You say it's a contest between Adwoa Safo and Michael Quay Jr. What about Sheila Opon-Sechi? I mean, she launched a campaign very early in the constituency. She's taken over, all the major billboards in the area. Her advertising campaign has been top-notch. The delegates are not considering her at all?
Like we say, it's one thing we advert bit on social media, on the normal traditional platforms, and another thing translating these into votes. Because I think they need to convince the delegates here who are taking their seats. Like I said, when you listen to the applause, then you can clearly see that the contest is a two-horse race between Adwoa Safo and might opaque. Because to most of the people I've spoken to here, the delegates, some claim Sheila is a good contestant and a candidate, but she has another time to show up here. In other words, to them, the new entrant, and therefore she has a long way to go in terms of snatching this particular or getting this particular seat to come and represent. But who knows? Sometimes delegates can be, very, very elusive. They will not be able to tell you exactly what is in their mind, because when they get to the ballot, the place to exercise their franchise, that is where the decision is made. So, Sheila, at the moment, like I said, is not the person I'm hearing in terms of who's likely to carry the day here. But anything can happen. And that is politics. Because behind the scenes, a lot of things go on. So we need the post-play actually.
Right, Edward, do you think that the message, Adwosafo's message, is resonating with the delegates? I mean, this is a woman who, disappointed the delegates at a point. She left post, as you said, and a lot of the delegates were worried about the political implication by her absence in the Dome Kwabena constituency. Do you think that her message has really sunk well with the delegates, so they will consider her in this particular election?
Well, she's riding on the fact that she has experience, and she's done 12 years, 3 consecutive terms as a parliamentarian. Therefore, she is given a chance because she did not do experiments with anyone, and she has what it takes really to carry the day. But let's not forget what transpired in 2022, when she was needed most in Parliament to come and support the government to be able to pass the e-levy, but he couldn't deliver at the appointed time. And so most of them are saying they're not going to forgive Adwasafo what she did, even though she's asking them to forgive her and saying that to err is human and to forgive is divine. And she has experience. But another group of people are saying that, look, well, we should give her a chance to do that, because if she's not given a chance, what might happen in the latter days of 2024 in terms of getting her to exercise a franchise, in terms of supporting government policy in Parliament, might be worrying. But some people are saying we should not give a damn to that, because she's already done the harm to the party and therefore to the government, and therefore there's no need for her to be thinking about this. Now it's time not to make mistakes. They should make sure that this time around we take what is right and what will help the constituency in government public.
Right. So, Edward, in the 2019 primaries, we saw Kennedy Japan, throw his weight behind Adwasafo. In this particular contest, do we have any traces of him supporting her to ensure that she wins this election as well?
It is the opposite, the contrary, because let's not forget Kennedy Japan was on radio, on a media platform, indicating that he regretted or he regrets supporting Adwasafo, who used to be his spouse, and for what he did during the 2022, the year 2022. So there's no sign of Kennedy Japan here. Always saying that she's around. Adwasafo is alone here. She's not getting that support that she had in 2019, which means that this is anything to interpret or to analyze, because let's not forget that Kennedy Japan stood for the presidential primaries. He came second and put a lot of surprises, and he has a lot of influence at the grassroots level. So if he happens to be here, it could translate into a vote for her. But this time around, let's not forget Adwasafo has moved on in the relationship, and therefore Kennedy Japan is not here. And more importantly, for not exceeding to a score in 2022 when she was needed, or when she was needed to come to Parliament to support the government in the passing of the e-levy, which she refused. Kennedy Japan is not here. And therefore, that kind of support will not be available to Adwasafo to be able to capitalize on that and get what she wants. But another interesting thing is that Sheila has a vote during this election. She is a delegate, Ajasafu is a delegate, but Mike Okoye Jr. is not a delegate. So some are saying that in case there's a tie, Ajasafu can use one vote to do the trick. But this lies in the bosom of the delegates that have gathered here today to exercise their franchise. Some say that it's in their conclusion, as we know, and so we are taking no chance at all. They're making sure that they will take from every, any of the delegates, the aspirants. So that's what we hear. So the rumor is that, oh, look, some of them have been able to gather what they need from each of the aspirants to ensure that they go home laughing. But as politics, we're waiting to see what happens. I don't know. They are 2 people.
If you look at the contest between Akurugu and Adwoa in 2020, it was a very close contest. As you said, 72,000 against 62,000 votes thereabout. That's the closest the NDC has been to the MPP in the Dome-Kwabenya constituency. When you listen to some delegates in some other constituencies, they are concerned about who would be their candidates looking into the 2024 elections. Are the delegates concerned that if Adwoa wins, Akurugu could, close the gap and maybe snatch that seat from the MPP?
What I've gathered here, what he's saying is also on the radar. But politics is about numbers, like you said. 72,000 as against 52,000. In terms of parliamentary, even one vote matters most. So to them, Adwoa was their key candidate in 2020. But this time around, if the tie changes and goes to Mike Okoye Jr., they will do the need to make sure that they maintain this vote. If not, Akurugu could pull a surprise. Because 72,000 as against 52,000. The numbers are huge too, but he was able to close the gap. Because usually MPP is able to go around 40,000 votes in this constituency. So it depends upon what the NDC candidate will do on the ground to be able to change the mindset of the constituency or the people of the constituency and to be able to get the votes. And we know Michael Okoye Jr. is the CEO of the Free Zone Board. The father used to be the MP for this area. So coming to this contest the third time. So he's also known in the constituency by a lot of people, and therefore he's also capitalizing on the work done by the father and he himself when he was a high commissioner to India and now the CEO of Free Zone Board. And so these are the things that I'm hearing is going to play out eventually. And let's not forget, Jamaica is coming up. It has one of the busy markets in Ghana, especially in Accra in particular. We are looking at markets apart from Makola and Gobushi, Manamata, Madina. Jamaica market might be the next down south. So if you look at among the 10 biggest markets in the capital, Jamaica is ranked high on this list. So it's a busy place, and the commercial activity in this community is very huge. And so we expect that whosoever will carry the day will reach out to the people in the constituency and help them get what they want. Because their market usually get involved in fire. And so they're looking forward to someone who can come and assist them with that. Even though MPs don't go in to undertake huge infrastructure development, what they do is to partner and do lobbying to be able to get some new projects into their competition.
Right. So, Edward, let's begin to wrap up the conversation. Let's talk about the developmental issues that confront the constituents in Dome-Kwabenya. We have poor road networks, especially in the old Ashoman area, and what have you. What are the issues that confront the people in Dome-Kwabenya, which certainly they will be discussing with you on the ground?
Like you said, roads, it's a major challenge facing, I believe, every constituency in Ghana here. Because as a country, we've not been able to do much when it comes to roads. So, even though it's got a fixed fair share of some roads in the area, because if you look at what has transpired over some years now, we've seen some road projects, but there's a lot more to be done. And so, whosoever will carry the day-to-day has a huge task to ensure that the government that will come from 2025, we should be able to lobby that government to be able to access this community in terms of infrastructure development and roads. And Sheila is saying that she'll be able to provide some street lights, and therefore it's lighting up the community. Just suppose it's training thing. My pay is also do training thing. So when it comes to street lighting, all the countries are saying that we need to do what is necessary in just lighting up the community.
Right.
And so these are some things that.
So Edward, finally, before I let you go, have you chanced upon any allegations or issues of vote buying, money sharing, camping, or what have you?
Well, Morris, this is common knowledge in our policies, body policies, and aspirants will do whatever they can to get the delegates to vote for them. And so, we're hearing stories, like I said earlier, I heard someone saying that, look, he got here at 5 p.m., he not left because they were with some of the aspirants elsewhere. So it tells you clearly that they are trying as much as possible to be able to get the mind of some of the delegates to be able to influence them to vote for them. So, like I said, the concept is key between Ajuasafu and Michael Keji. So these two folks still might also be doing their own. But we hear a lot of stories, but there's no evidence about vote buying. But as we know, it's common in our body policy. Vote buying has become the order of the day. And Clement Kwabena, I believe that there's no exception. Phenomenon.
All right. Thank you very much, our man at the Dome Kwabena constituency, Edward Nyako, bringing us up to speed relative to what's happening in that particular constituency. It's a constituency that we're keeping our eye on. We see how events pan out in that particular constituency. But briefly, let's bring you the profiles of the people or the parliamentary aspirants in the Dome Kwabena constituencies, all of them lawyers. So we start with Mike Okoye Jr. He's a lawyer by profession. As we speak, he's the CEO of the Ghana Free Zones Authority. He went to Association International. He holds a BL from BP Law School in the UK, and what have you. As you know already, he was one time the High Commissioner to India, for the Republic of Ghana. So that's Mike Okoye Jr. For you there. Okay, so right, so I mean, contesting these particular elections with Sarah Ajuasafu, who herself is a lawyer, has been on that particular seat for 3 consecutive times since 2012. This is Sheila Sechi Opon, who is making her first attempt in the Dome Kwabena constituency. She has an impressive academic professional background with degrees in both law and economics, as well as experience working in the private and public sectors, including for the World Bank. She holds academic qualifications, BA in English from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Sheila Opon Sechi currently is the head of strategic planning and implementation and legal advisory at the Office of the First Lady. She is the head of the Rebecca Foundation. She worked as an administrator with the Visit Scotland, and a lot of accolades she has to herself when it comes to her professional background. So that's Dome Kwabenya constituency for you. Doreen, you want to say something about the Dome Kwabenya constituency? You live very close to that constituency.
Well, I live very close to that constituency.
Yeah.
I see Dome Kwabenya as an interesting constituency, considering the history of the constituency since 2012 when Adjoa Safo came in. Like, I mean, we've been discussing here, she's done extensive work in the constituency, but her behavior in the constituency in the last 3 years, it's really what might affect her chances. Because in the 2016, the 2020 elections, the primaries, she won the seat, or she won the primaries with just 8 votes. And if you look at what has happened in the constituency in the last 3-4 years, and the fact that there's another woman contending, that's Sheila, who might split the vote in the constituency and maybe give way to Michael Quay. Like I'm saying, it's an interesting constituency to watch, because even during the counting process in the last primaries in the constituency, it was very heated. From what I gathered, it had to be counted a number of times before she won. And so we wait to see. It's just interesting, and hopefully the best candidate wins in the constituency.
So we have Ramatu from the Trobo constituency. George, you want to talk to her?
Let's quickly talk to Ramatu, who is at the Trobo constituency. Ramatu, good afternoon to you. Ramatu, good afternoon.
Yeah.
Hello, Ramatu. Ramatu.
Yeah, this is King.
Oh, okay. Kingsley. Can you hear me, Kingsley? Okay, I think we'll work on that particular line and get back to our viewers on that. So, Maurice.
So as we do that, Loratu, this will be the first time the NDC has actually maintained a candidate in the Dome Kwabenya constituency. They've always changed candidates moving into every election. Are you concerned about that? Also, given the fact that, I mean, the gap was very much close in the 2020 elections, parliamentary-wise.
Well, the NDC maintaining their candidates is neither here or there. Candidates that has been beaten before can be beaten again, you know. But I would have been surprised if you're not paying keen attention to Dome Kwabenya because of the issues that have happened there.
Yeah.
Now it's like a battle of the lawyers. I was in that constituency during the 2019 primaries. And I was quite keen, because when we got there, it was more like, okay, the Ambassador Okwe was in the lead, sort of. Then by the close of polls, Honorable Adjoa Safo was leading by 9 votes. But what I also think that we should avert our minds to is, when it comes to incumbents and numbers, usually it's keen when they are being contested by only one person. But when there's 2 or more people, so it's more like they're able to secure what they have, then the ones contesting them kind of split what is against them. So that's the dynamics are interesting. Dome Kwabenya is more like a settler constituency. You know, and over the years, I don't know what the pact between them and Honorable Adjoa Safo is, but they will complain a lot
And end
up voting for her. So I think this is an open contest. And you know, human nature, the fact that she's been able to put away everything and apologize will even appeal to certain people. You know, the whole humility of Brian and Mwase kind of perception of the ordinary Ghanaians, all those things go into it. So for me, if you look at what she did, I had opportunities to speak to it. She had no business holding the party to ransom the way she did. That is not something anybody endorses. You even had people that were very close to her close supporters come out and chastise her in relation to those things. So those things that she did. But when someone does you wrong and comes back to apologize, it also comes with its own dynamics. So this is a call to the delegates of Dome Kwabena. They are the ones going to do their work. They are the ones who know the ground. It's up to them to elect a candidate who appeal to the general populace of Dome Kwabena.
There's an issue of appeal.
Yes.
The delegates may want to forgive her and then vote her to go ahead and lead the party in the constituency in 2024. But will the general people, the people in the constituency, would they also forgive her for leaving them?
That's what I said. You know, a lot of dynamics come to place. Someone will say, oh, the fact that she's been humble enough to apologize, okay, let's give her. And someone will also say, oh, the fact that she's done it before, she'll do it again.
She'll do it again.
And you know, what she did was really affected the party in parliament more than the people in Dome Kwabena. Because if you talk to, when you talk to some of them, they'll tell you she was still doing the things that she was doing with respect to the development of Dome Kwabena. Her office was open, her staff were there and all that. So it was really the party that was affected by the decisions that she took. You know, but I also haven't seen any wholesale rejection of her by the people as she's moving around. You see videos here and there, but even when they were running the district assembly election, so the people who were around her, someone even had a cause to compose a song for her and all that. When she went sharing yogurt and all that, you know, people took it. They were warm to her and all that. Politics comes with a lot of dynamics. And as your reporter said, a lot of things happen behind the scenes. You know, so for me, until the last ballot is cast and EC declares, it's not a constituency you can just say she's losing.
All right, let's go back to Trobo and talk to Ramatu, who is our correspondent there. Ramatu, good afternoon to you. Hello, Ramatu.
Good afternoon, George.
All right, what can you share with us where you are located now? That's at Trobo constituency.
Yes, currently I'm at Trobo constituency. And this constituency is located in the West district of the Greater Accra region. It was phased out of the Amasaman constituency in 2012, and it covered areas including Central Hills, New Achimota, Ofanko, part of Pokwase, and also Alhaji and Israel. The current MP is Moses Enim, that is the Deputy Minister for Fisheries and Agriculture. And currently voting is underway, but with tight security here. So far, the total votes to be cast is 1,442 with two different centers. We have Trouble A and Trouble B. But the overall total vote cast as of now, according to the officer here, presiding officer here, is 695.
Okay, and who is Moses Enim's main contender?
Yeah, his main contender is the woman, and she is Madame Gloria Owuku. And from the delegates, they are saying that he's going to face stiff opposition.
She's a woman. You never say he's a man.
Okay.
Reasons I'm yet to get because nobody wants to give me their main reasons for saying that. They just told me, wait until it's 2 o'clock. When a winner is declared, you tell you see why you're saying that.
All right, but I mean, listening to them and what they've been saying, their mannerism here and there, where do you think it's actually tilting towards?
Just can you please come again?
I'm saying that listening to them and your interaction with them and their mannerism and all that, where is it tilting towards? Where do you think they're tilting towards?
I can't hear you clearly, but I heard something about mannerism. I would say their mannerism is neutral. Nobody, you can't fish out where one party belongs.
Fair delegates.
They are playing along their path well. I don't know whether that was the question you asked me.
Okay, I think that's fair enough. And looking at those in the queue, can they just make it by 2 for everything to just come to a close? It looks like they've done less than half of the number.
I think they would go beyond 2. According to the presiding officer, whoever is in the queue before 2 would be given the chance to vote. But then whoever joins after 2 will be denied. Once it's 2 o'clock, the gate will be closed.
Okay. But is the queue moving that fast?
It's a bit slow. I would say it's a bit slow.
Okay. All right. Ramatu, we'll leave it here. Thank you very much. So that's Ramatu, who is our correspondent at Trobo constituency, where you have Moses Anim, who is the incumbent there. And the key contender there is Gloria Wusu. Just as Ramatu said, she's a woman. Gloria Wusu there. All right, okay. Let's move back to Maurice and pick out information from him.
Right. So you're talking about the Domin constituency as to whether the wider constituents will vote for Adwoa Safwa if she's elected by the delegate. I mean, that's the Domin constituency is an MPP stronghold. I mean, so once you manage to win the primaries, certainly the chances are very high that you become the MP for Domin Kwabenya, unless something changes. I mean, there are proposals for a split of that particular constituency because it's huge.
It's a huge constituency.
You know, starts from Domin into Abokobi. You know, very, very huge. So when it comes to yes,
because Taiman and all those other
areas. You come to Oko and those areas around
new
Domin.
Developments also coming up, which are just emerging into that constituency.
So it's a huge constituency, and it becomes difficult for the MP to bring development. So I mean, there are calls that particular constituency
because that particular enclave also needs a serious looking at. If you look at Madina Lankwantanan, you cross Adentan constituency, you cross part of Domin Kwabenya, come to Damfa. It's Madina Lankwantanan.
Okay.
So that whole enclave needs really good reorganization and demarcation.
But now that we have 275 constituencies,
that's
I think
but
it's going to be
if
difficult.
we are going to have SAL and we're going to have 276, then there will be need to break that quickly. Because developments are just springing up, especially in that enclave.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I mean the road network in Domin Kwabenya, terrible. Even though there has been some gradual improvements, but road network in that particular constituency.
Chase settlements, not the other way around.
Right. So before we went to Domin Kwabenya, we're looking at let's wrap up with the Karaga constituency. Are you very hopeful you maintain that seat?
Oh, yes.
The MPP.
I mean, that's the man.
Okay. So let's also look at this particular constituency as well. Alassane Sulemana Tampoli in the Gusheu constituency. So I think this one was a split in the Gusheu and then
Kaka was another concept. I keep forgetting. Gusheu Kaka, yes.
Sure. Yeah. So this is Alhassan Tamponi. He's a former chief executive of the National Petroleum Authority. He has so much experience when it comes to the oil and gas industry, and he's a lawyer also for that matter. I think he won the seat in 2020.
I remember the activities that led to him becoming candidate. It was more like unopposed.
Sure.
No, so there was a primaries. Then at a point, the candidate who won, sort of like I don't remember what, but voluntarily
decided not to contest.
Out, so he was the most credible person. And if he's going on opposed again, that shows that he's really done what the people expect him to do. So I don't see us having any serious issues in there. But it's not a constituency I've followed much.
Right, right. But you have the figures, how the voting pattern has been since, I think it was 2004.
Yeah, 2004. I think that was when the separation came in, and like you mentioned, it's been a swing constituency. So from 2004, the NPP won with 52.8. The NDC had at the time 47.2. Then in 2008, the NDC won with 50.3. Then the NPP had 47.9. Come to 2012, it was very close. The NPP had 49.1 and then the NDC had 49.9. In 2016, the NPP won with 54.2 and the NDC had 44.5. Now in 2020, which we are all talking about, Alassane Tampuli had 51.7 while the NDC candidate had 41.1. So it's swing. We cannot tell who is likely to win in the next election after these primaries.
Okay, all right. Let's quickly go to Boku Central and talk to our correspondent there, Peter Gingre, who is standing by for us. Peter, good afternoon to you. Hello, Peter. Peter, good afternoon to you. Okay,
the exercise started smoothly as at 8 a.m. Many of the delegates, assembled here just directly opposite the police station here in Boku. You see that the police station is just some few meters away from this particular polling center. Many people have come here to cast their votes. And so as at the time I got here, there was a lot of people on the queue. But you realize that this whole area is empty. That tells you that voting is almost ended here. We have over 700 delegates in this constituency or in this particular polling station in the Boku Central. 784, I am told, have already come. And there are just a few of them who are on the queue now to, cast their votes. And very soon it will be over here in the Boku Central. 6 candidates have filed to contest this particular polling station or this particular constituency to represent the NPP. And so I earlier spoke to the EC, the Municipal Director of Electoral Commission, who is with me here currently. I just want him to tell us a little of so far. Director, if you can share with GBC News, so far, what can you say? It's like the queue is almost ended. It means that we're ending anytime soon.
Yes, we are almost ended, but we cannot count. We are waiting for 2 o'clock to count. They're voting, and then we start.
Okay.
For now, we have our sister land.
Okay.
Currently, we are waiting for where we end.
Okay, so he is telling me that they are waiting for the actual time. That's around 2 o'clock. They will closing polls. But it means that almost so far, how many have voted so far? How many?
600.
So far, okay. All right. So thank you very much, sir. Okay, so you heard from the Municipal Director of the Electoral Commission here in Boku Central. You see that we have a lot of police officials here to ensure that the whole place, the security, the people or the delegates cast their votes without fear. And so there is that kind of sanity on the background, I can tell you, here in the Boku Central. But in the Upper East region, we have only 2 constituencies that are taking part in this exercise. Remember that Boku was supposed to be part of the earlier exercise, but due to security issues, that is why Boku could not hold their elections last November, and so they are holding it now. He is a member of the party. I want to find out from you, how far do you think the exercise has gone?
It has been very, very successful. I mean, voting started around 7:30. And I think the voter turnout is also very encouraging, about almost 85% voter turnout. And so far, from the beginning to the end, we haven't seen any.
Yeah, and so voting is almost done.
Yeah.
Do you have a candidate that you think will emerge victorious here?
Oh no! I mean, if you look at the caliber of people who are contesting the primary, this candidate, all of them are strong party people. All of them have the requisite qualifications and the needed experience. So any of them can emerge to winner.
Okay.
And we are hoping that the delegates have taken their decision. At the end of it all, definitely will be the winner.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So let me go closer to see if we can speak to one of the candidates I spotted here just recently. I want to find out if he has something to share with us. Yes. So I've just spotted the constituency chairman of the New Patriotic Party in the Upper East or in the Boko Central. Sir, your name?
Yeah, my name is Elijah.
Okay. Right. So so far, what can you say about the exercise today?
It is very smooth. We are most grateful.
Oh. Not this one. There was one that kept on his pocket. Okay.
I think each and every delegate that are around have already cast their votes. We are waiting for those who are just on their way to come and cast their votes. And God willing, within an hour time, I think the vote, and then we start sorting out the ballot.
So far, the exercise has been peaceful, can you say, because this is an area that people were afraid to come out to vote.
But the exercise is very peaceful. Even those at the outset who were fearing that they can't come to the town, they were all here. And then they came and cast their vote and then went back. Others are still waiting for the results to come out and before they leave. I think the whole process has gone very peaceful.
All right. So thank you very much, Chairman. And just like I was telling you earlier, my mic. Just like I was telling you earlier, today we have another exercise going on at the Binduri constituency. From here, would you be going there?
From here, after we finish, I think they will write a finish before us. We are yet to sort our ballot.
Okay.
For Binduri, there is no election there. Okay. But it is the incumbent candidate that they are going. Just confirm.
Okay.
For us here, we have enough.
Okay, right. So thank you very much. So we have other people that I would like to talk to. I think that Mr. Mohammed Nambe, he is inside the car here. And I know that he would love to talk to us quickly so that we'll find out from him what are his chances. And now that this is the time for him to represent the party, he is trying to, what is he bringing on board? And so here in the Upper East region, it is only the Boko Central that this exercise is going on. But we still have to visit Binduri later to find out how things are going there. And we'll, of course, continue to update our viewers or our listeners across. But let's talk to Mr. Nambe. He is also in the ballot. So we are speaking to you live on GBC News, and we want to find out from you, so far, what can you say the exercise has been?
So far, so very good. This morning, with this period of time, people have been all over here. And the exercise has been very cordial, very peaceful, and very friendly. We all come to understand that this is a family affair. All of us are NPP people. All of us have NPP at heart. And this exercise helps us select only a candidate who can lead the party in respect of the parliamentary elections coming 2024. So far, so very good.
You found yourself in a constituency that is controlled by the NDC. If you're looking at the history, the Mahama Yarga, the incumbent MP, seems to be a candidate that is unbeatable to you. Do you think Mahama Yarga or the Boko Central constituency can ever go to the NP?
Mahama Yarga is not unbeatable. You look at the margin of votes that Mahama has been getting from 2016, 2020, you realize that it's a close call contest. It is not as if the elections have been massive against NPP or massive for NDC. Mama Yarga has been elected as member of parliament because of certain designs. And realize that Mama Yarga has some advantage. His mother is Mampusi, his father is Pusasi. So by patrilineal lineage is Pusasi. I, as I stand here, my mother is Pusasi, and my father is Mampusi. Mama would fetch votes from the Mampusis, I would fetch votes from the Pusasis. Traditionally, it has come to the friction there. The majority of Pusasis are NDC, and the majority of Mampusis are also empty. So when I'm elected as candidate, I'm going to work very hard on my mother's side, make sure that I get votes from there, augment the votes in the township where my father is coming from, and that will make me a different candidate. I'm going to come with a campaign that is quite different, that is quite unconventional. I am going to have something we call micro campaigns. Micro. I'm going to touch every single person in the constituency. And I will make sure that everybody understands my project and joins my project. By December 2024, everybody would have realized that lawyer Mohammed Nambi is the winner. That's what I'm going to come.
Right. So Mohammed Nambi is a lawyer, just like he has told us, and he has also been concerned about the peace in Boko. We want to find out from you going forward, what would you do different to bring peace to Boko so that you'll be able to come out on 7th December to cast your votes, not even just for elections, but talking about development in general. There needs to be peace in Boko.
Thank you so much. Everybody understands that without peace, there will not be development. And it is something I'm going to work at. Already, I repeat, Ambassador. I am a member of the Executive Peace Committee. I am a member of several committees that borders on peace. It's something I'm going to execute so well. And as a candidate, I'm going to use my position to leverage, to talk to other people, for us to come together and understand that we need to coexist. Nobody can expel someone from Boko. And nobody can import peace for us. We have to make peace ourselves. We have to talk to people to understand that peace is the necessary ingredient for development. Without peace, we cannot develop. Look at how Boko is. It's pathetic. You come to see that Boko is like this. It's pathetic. So it is something that I put it as one of my topmost priorities. When I come as a candidate, I am going to ensure that we come together and work towards having peace.
Thank you very much, lawyer, for your message. And you just heard lawyer Nambi Mohammed Tahiru. He is number 1 on the ballot, and voting has already ended. We are just hoping to let's maybe wait on the EC. They said by 2 o'clock they would be maybe taking the ballots and then the ballot box and bringing out the ballots for us to know who would emerge victorious in this particular Boko Central as far as the NPP is concerned here. Let me show you some pictures here because the security are here in their numbers, and you see the military. You see the military, you see a lot of people here. You see a lot of police officials all packed over there, also ensuring that, yes, there is peace going on in this particular constituency as far as the delegates conference is concerned. So there is a lot more to look out for, but I can assure you that there is peace ongoing. Nothing untoward is happening in Boko. There is peace. I see that, yes, the police have just arrived. A number of them are arriving, and they are to ensure that there is peace in the exercise. The Upper East Regional Minister is arriving, and that is why you see that the fleet of cars with the motorcade is arriving. the Upper East Regional Minister, Stephen Yakubu, has just arrived. And so he has just come, I understand, he's coming to see the process or the exercise, how it is going so far. And so we'll try to see if we can catch a glimpse of him here shortly, and then we'll feed our viewers what is happening in the Boko Central. And so the minister has just arrived. Yes, so he's just exchanging greetings with some of the executives of the party in the Boko Central. I'm sorry to say in the Boko Central. And so we want to just we may have the opportunity to talk to him quickly on what he has come here to do, but he's just having some words with the constituency executives of the party here in the Boko Central. But it's a beautiful day, and here in Boko, it's a place that many of the people are looking up to. They want to find out what is happening here. But I can assure you, I can confirm to you that everything is going well here this morning, this afternoon, as far as this exercise is concerned. You see that the police are here in their numbers to ensure that everything goes on well. Yes, so we see the MCE is coming here. Honorable, good morning, good morning. How are you doing?
Did you interview?
Yeah, we are yet to speak to Minister. Okay. All right, so the MCE wants to greet his boss before he can speak to the media. So I would just appeal on you to give me more time so that we would have the opportunity to speak to some of these big wigs in this constituency. The Upper East region, we have only this particular constituency that the NPP, they are holding this delegates conference, but we are yet to get more information as far as Induri is concerned, because yesterday there was an injunction for the election not to be held in that particular constituency because somebody did not agree to some of the terms and conditions within the party. But this one we were told that it is also supposed to come on. And so we are yet to know what is happening in the Binduri constituency. And so there is still a lot here that I would love to share with you. We realize that the minister has just exchanged greetings with Madam Gabiana, who is also number 5 on the ballot paper. Madam Gabiana has contested the Boko Central seat in the last elections, and this time she wants to represent the party again. And I know Madam Gabiana has the hope that she would represent the party once again. Madam, you are live on GTV, GBC. We want to find out from you again, what are your chances?
Have you interviewed?
70%. 70%, then I give a 30% to But the 70% is
Are you sure that you are going to bring victory for the party in the general elections on 7?
That is what I am for.
Voting has already ended. You think that you're going to win?
Maybe some people will.
Okay.
But currently, we had about 600 and something. We have all for voter
784, yeah.
Now we have 600 and something, so we're still waiting.
What's your message to the people?
My message to the people is that they should, the way they have seen us together here, they use the unity, the blood that is prevailing here. They should use it as a reflection and then let it sustain. So the Boko people once again say that what they were thinking of Boko is only more like that again. We want peace, we want unity, we want development. And because we want the development, we want to let peace prevail so that we'll be able to have development. We love our youth because they are our symbols. Obviously, without them, we are not there. I'm 18, and now if I can 18, I'm living, I should have some both who help me. But if you are losing them, this is not the best as a woman. Yes, that's what I mean.
Thank you very much, Madam Gabiana, who is you are number 5 on the ballot?
Yes, number 5 on the ballot.
Okay, so she is hoping that by 2 o'clock, the EC would announce her as the winner of this particular delegates conference here in the Boko Central. And so you see that regional minister is with the EC officials, so I'm sure just exchanging pleasantries with the people, and also just to say well done to them for conducting an exercise that is without any chaos. We would shortly speak to the minister. He would be telling us shortly what he has gathered so far. So if you are watching us on GBC News this afternoon, we're bringing you a live coverage of the NPP Delegate Conference in the Boko Central. And voting is expected to end by 2 p.m., but many people have already, cast their votes. According to the EC chair, he has told us, according to the EC Municipal Director, he has told us here that over 600 have voted so far, and others are yet to arrive. And so we are hoping that when they arrive, they would also maybe casting their vote. But Minister, I want to otherwise, I don't also. Okay. So Minister wants to speak to, he wants to greet Mr. Nambe, who is also number 1 on the ballot before he can speak to the media. And so we are patiently waiting for him. Another candidate has also arrived. Yes, he is Mr. Mukhtar, also on the ballot. He is also equally hoping for victory at the end of counting today. And so we are just hoping and waiting for the 2 p.m. when sorting of the ballot will be taking place, and they would be announcing the winner of today's exercise here. So it's been a very good day here in the Boko Central constituency, this particular polling station that has over 784 delegates from over 100 polling stations that are in the Boko Central area. And so I just want you to have the full view of some of the police officers who are here. You see that they are here in their numbers, ensuring that there is peace. They are here in their numbers, very vigilant and up on their feet to ensure that everything goes well. And we must say kudos to the police and the military. Some of them are stationed around the roadside. Others are stationed, you see that on top of that building over there, there are some police officers there just watching over to ensure that everything goes well. And so everything is fine here in Boko today. And I think that they have turned back to their areas when everyone can do anything or go about their normal business in Boko without fear. Today, we can see that it is happening here, and the police, the military are giving us all that they need, the people need to ensure that the exercise ends successfully. The EC officials are relaxing now because nobody has come to cast his or her vote, and so you see that they are relaxing, just waiting for the right time to come so that they will do the counting. But this is, you are an agent to one of the candidates, are you? Yeah. Okay. Can you tell us your name? So far, what can you say about the exercise? Okay. Who is your candidate? Gabiana. Madam Gabiana has been the candidate of the NPP in the last elections, and you think that she should still represent the party? Why?
Well, look at the work she has been doing for most of the natives of Boko. She has worked as a nurse in Boko. She has actually helped most of the women and the rural community in terms of taking care of them. So I think, look at someone who have not been appointed, they will be able to help others. Even that as an NGO, she will do more, bring development.
Okay. All right. So you are sure of victory?
Yeah, sure.
You are sure that you will win? Okay. All right. So thank you very much. I have another agent here that I would love to talk to quickly. Oh, okay. All right. So you are equal and an agent. Tell me, what are the chances of your candidate? Yes. What are the chances of your candidate?
Okay. Very well. So far, the EC officials, they have done their best. They have made sure that this election is successfully. Looking at this, my angle all over. Then the delegates also take their part by coming out with their numbers in time. So as we are now sitting down, we are waiting for the time to catch and we start working, please. We are almost done. And I am agent for Haji Amadi.
Okay. When we spoke to him, he was confident of victory. Is that the same?
Confident because he is the master for the youth I'm talking about. And he is the choice for the He is the choice for the agents. He is the choice for the delegates. So he must be sure.
Okay. Right. So thank you very much. And you just said you didn't tell us your name. Yeah, you.
I am Mahmoud Abdullah, sir.
Okay. Right. So he is an agent for Mr. Mukhtar, who is Mukhtar is number 5, or is it number 2 on the ballot paper? Okay. Right. So that is it's a thing that an agent here wants to talk to me quickly. Mohammed Tahiru Nambe's agent. Is that so? Yes. Why do you think that he may stand tall after today's exercise? Tell me your name.
Thank you very much. My name is Osman Kariyama, and then I'm the agent for Mohammed Tahiru Nambe, lawyer Al-Hadi. And we are confident of victory because so far, for a very long time, Boko Central constituency was once known to be the constituency for MPP that MPP used to win during the days of Madam Hawaya when Adamu Dramani captured the seat back. But due to one or two misunderstandings, we lost the seat. And then we think that the only person that can tackle Mount Mayarga in the constituency is Mohammed Tahiru Nambe. Yes, and people have seen what he has done so far. He cares for everybody. He made sure that at least each and everyone has fear who to approach him. He is youthful, he is intelligent, he has served this party for a very long time, during the days of before 1992. They are those who started with the party, and then he has actually contributed a lot to the development of the party in Boko. You cannot mention the MPP. You cannot mention MPP in Boko without the mention of Mohammed Tahiru Nambe in Boko. And people have seen what he has contributed as far as the development of the party is concerned. And we think that this is the time. This is the time the party needs a personality like Mohammed Tahiru Nambe to wrestle the seat back to MPP and make Boko Central the home of MPP, because in Upper East, Boko Central votes massively for the MPP in all the 15 constituencies. And it is high time we let the party understand that this is the time we are going to wrestle the back with Mohammed Tahiru Nambe as our parliamentary candidate. And we are sure of victory. And the people of Boko are kneeling for MPP to wrest back his seats. And that's exactly what we are going to do. And keep the incompetent Mama Yaraga up to where he comes from for us to have his
Right. Thank you very much. We would like to, we'll wait till 2 p.m. for the actual results. But some of the agents are sure of victory. And that has to mean that, yes, everyone is sure of victory here for their candidates. And so we will want to talk to Haruna Sumaila. You are an agent.
Okay. Hello, Peter. Okay, we have to just get it up here, then we'll move to other areas too, right? So that's Peter Gingre, who is getting us reaching us from Boko Central. The understanding is that Boko Central is one of the orphan constituencies. Actually was put on hold based on some difficulties. So it's part of this particular exercise that's currently going on to elect a parliamentary candidate for that particular constituency. Let's move to Doreen for other stories too.
Yes, I will take you to Swami, the Ashanti region, where the incumbent member of parliament, Mr. Seichi Mensah Bonsu, has confirmed to the media that he has his preferred candidate in the ongoing primaries. He expressed optimism that his choice of a candidate would eventually win the primaries, despite some alleged intimidation by some members of the party in the constituency. He said this during an interview with GBC News after casting his vote.
Yeah. Honorable, good morning, and welcome to the polling station. You've gone through the process. What are your impressions so far?
Well, I heard initially before setting off from the house that there were some disturbances here. On my getting here, I've seen that the place is calm, and the assurance is that the police presence here is good. They have high visibility here. And because of that, I believe they are well positioned if there are any issues that may crop up, they'll be able to quell it. So far, what I've seen, I'm impressed. The election is going on smoothly, and I want to believe that whoever the constituency collectively agree to vote for will be the person who will triumph over the others at the end of the day. We are all just one family. It's a family contest. Unfortunately, certain people are elevating it to some rivalry. There's no rivalry. It's a contest. And of course, to the extent that we don't all agree on one candidate, we should, take it like that, because we are not robots. So even though we believe in the principles of the party, in the details of the implementation of the principles and policies, we may differ, which is why one person would vote for one person or the other. It doesn't distract from the truth. But what I don't want to hear at the end of the day is that whoever triumphs would be dependent on maybe what drinks or what cooler or what envelope is passed on to the person. That would be a negative development. I hope that truth will triumph.
Honorable, when you heard about those misunderstandings, what could possibly have been the reasons?
Well, I was listening to a report on Hello FM, and they were saying that apparently one person had alleged that some monies had been paid to somebody, and he was accosted by the police, and he started going to tantrums, and the police slapped the person. That is the report from Hello. I don't know the truth in that, and I understand that after people rushed in to separate the two. I don't know the truth in that. I'm just relating to the report from Hello FM. But as I'm saying, at the end of the day, I've been here, I've seen the calmness.
Incumbent Member of Parliament for Swami Ashanti region, Mr. Osei James Sabos. Now, Laura, too, I heard you make the sound when I mentioned that he had made aware his preferred candidates. What did you have to say?
Well, it will be hypocritical on his part to say he doesn't have a preference. For a member of parliament of his stature who has risen to be leader of majority for 2 terms, for the 7th and 8th parliaments. I think it was even minority leader.
Yeah.
Yes, minority leader before he became majority leader.
Yes.
For someone who has raised the profile of Swami to where it is, he must be interested in who takes over from him. But being the leader of the party and being conscientious of the fact that it's an internal contest, he hasn't mentioned any name. Well, it will be critical for him to say I don't have a preferred candidate.
Yeah. And you think the other candidates will not know who he may be talking about?
Well, if they know, we don't know. If they don't know, they'll all be thinking the father of the constituency now, if I should put it that way, is supporting all of us. It's an internal contest. There's no need. As we sit here, come 7 December, all of us will vote. George, you never tell me the party you vote for. I can tell you I vote for the NPP. By virtue of where I sit.
Yeah, because of where you sit, exactly.
So
but even with that, when you get to the booth, anything can happen.
Well, but I can openly say that you can never tell me you vote for party, but you know you vote.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that's the situation.
Okay, all right.
So it's all our coverage of the 2024 Npp Parliamentary Primaries. What we learning is that there is some form of confusion in the English Amanfrom constituency. We are told that there is one particular person who managed to vote, even though he is not a registered delegate in the Amanfrom constituency, and that sparked some form of confrontation among the two sides. Let's get the pictures as we capture them by our correspondent Gifty Ajay on the ground.
Come on, it's numbers. If it is you, the lady is going to vote. So they should stop the lady from voting so that we'll see our best. So who is that? He's going to vote. He's there. Who is that? Let him stop. Who is there? Let's go. Calm down. This lady, if you tell me why he came to look, this lady, this short lady, madam, the one is driving, madam, is it? Madam.
I don't have to.
Please come.
I'm a pastor's wife. I don't have to change this.
Come.
I'm a pastor's wife. Please. I don't want it.
You don't want to say it's okay. Please.
I'm a pastor's wife.
Come on. Media. The woman will vote.
Criminality by the constitutional chairman. Changing rules, they run their life. They did not travel. He's the person that's sick, not travel, not dead, not anything. But the constitutional chairman went and removed someone and put his another girlfriend inside. Will not allow to happen. The girl will not vote. Why? Will not vote. Why? We are not going to allow that. We are not going to allow that. Someone will change the pictures. Now with the obedience, you're not going to now winning.
So when did this happen? When did you know?
Oh, we not do Abono. Pastor Abonu. During coordinator, this guy voted. During constituency election, this guy voted. Oba President of Toba, ample for Kujiri D at the Bega Show. Sick presented girlfriend. Or you show. One side of Toba. Abaha.
When did you detect this? When did you detect this? When did you detect this? My brother, when did you detect this?
Stop talking. Toss it. If you got an interview here, you know that.
Okay, please get back for us.
Get back to our correspondent Gifty Ajay, who is covering the elections in the English Yamanfro constituency. Gifty, we've just seen the pictures you sent to us concerning that little friction in the constituency. What exactly happened? Has it been resolved? Has voting, continued as it started? Hello, Gifty Ajay.
Oh, yeah. Hello, Maurice.
Right. So I'm saying that has that particular issue been resolved, and has the process continued just as it started?
Yes, Maurice. Good afternoon. And like you said, the process has resumed. Just some few minutes ago, there was a heated confusion or misunderstanding among the supporters of the various candidates, and it became like an open fight. Everybody fighting somebody, but luckily the police were there. They interviewed, and that has been resolved. Even at a point, they wanted to use our brought into the picture, but of course, we were just doing our work, observing and filming. But luckily, the police came in. It was a bit difficult for them, for the police, but they managed, and then they were able to quell temper. And so, as I speak to you now, voting has resumed, and then they are voting, and we are hoping that by 2 o'clock it should be done, and then we will know finally who the chosen candidate for this constituency. English amateur.
So, Gifty, what exactly happened? We hear the constituency chairman's name being mentioned. Which side of the divide is raising the protest?
Okay, so we had supporters of the incumbent, Mr. Sylvester Tete, and lawyer Vida Champon. According to them, it is alleged. There were some supporters who belonged to the incumbent who were always on the back of the lady, lawyer Echampon, but these supporters have crossed carpet into Madame Echampon's, and then once they all met, I don't know what really happened, and they began trading insults, and so this person says something, the other person replies, and at a point, tempers go up, and then they begin to, attack each other. So it was quite an unfortunate scene there.
Right.
But as I talked to you, it's been resolved.
So it's the supporters of the incumbent who are raising their concerns. Am I right?
Well, you know, the way the whole thing happened, I can't, accuse party A or B. But what the information we gathered was that supporters of these two candidates were the people who were fighting, to the point that, even, some people like us doing our jobs were brought into the whole scuffle. Yes. Mm.
All right. Thank you very much. Our correspondent, Gifty AJ, is covering the elections for us in the English Amanfro constituency. Rolatu, I get your name wrong all the time. Loratu. Right. So you're taking what's happened so far.
Like it's unfortunate, but that's what I was talking about in the beginning. There are officials responsible for this, and so if you realize the person who was raising the protest was held by the police and was asked to calm down. He expressed what he wanted to put across. They went after the lady. Things have been sorted out. Voting has continued. That's how it's supposed to be. You don't have the mandate to go and try to stop anybody in the queue from. The EC is there, the police is there. We also have national and regional officers doing monitoring. So you can talk to any of them, but these things should be discouraged. It's not things that we want to see in the process. It's been peaceful so far, and we should maintain it till polls close. If we have any reservations, let's use the appropriate channels to do that.
So far, will you say
but for the MPP, we are not the boot for boot kind of people. It's Georgia.
We have Bantama is boiling. Our correspondent is going to bring us the details any moment from now.
Bantama has been boiling from day one. But you know how Uncle Katie is.
Yeah, that one too.
Uncle Katie will talk and everything, but will never raise a fist. That's the MPP.
Yeah.
You raise your opinions, you raise them passionately, but we are not a violent party like our compatriots.
Okay, let's go to the Ablekuma West constituency. Our correspondent, Sarah Ofori, is monitoring events in that particular constituency. She's been speaking to the incumbent Esla Osu Ekufu and Mr. Ronnie, who is seeking to snatch that particular seat from her. Let's listen to them.
Myself and other aspirants will be allowed in the perimeter, but as you can see for yourself, there's other people. They mentioned that protocol tags, observer tags, none of these tags were discussed at the meeting with the election committee. And I wasn't even given an official album. So there's a lot of challenges.
So you've been dealt with unfairly. What is your constituency chairman saying?
Absolutely nothing. Because I'm in a constituency where the chairman and the whole constituency executives are campaigning openly against me. So clearly they're not going to take anything I say seriously.
So what would be your next line of action should things not go your way? Because obviously you have cited a lot of unfair treatment.
Well, we'll see what happens, and we'll see what happens. I don't want to discuss that on air right now.
So what are you doing to calm down your candidates?
I've told everyone to remain calm, and the right thing will be done. So hopefully we'll follow the due processes.
So those who have been denied accreditation, would they be allowed to vote per your insistence?
Well, that is what we're waiting to see what will happen, because a lot of them have been denied accreditation. So they've been here since morning, and we're waiting to see what the election committee is going to do about it. And they're currently outside as well. So thank you.
So far, I can see that everything is going on smoothly. I've been through the process myself. They are enforcing the rules strictly, which I think is the right way to go. Knowing the history of this constituency with interminable arguments about elections, I think strict enforcement of the guidelines set out by the party is the way to go, so that at the end of the day, only those with proper accreditation are allowed into the perimeter. They cast their vote, they are escorted out. At 2 o'clock, the doors are opened. Everybody comes to witness the ballot counting. I think if not, there may be some confusion here, and we don't want that to happen. I'm confident that if the process goes on smoothly, as it is, I'll emerge the winner. And so I've just spoken to the divisional commander that they should insist that everybody abides by the rules and make no exception for anyone. I am the MP. I have subjected myself to the process. I don't see why anyone else should not. And so we will see how things go at the end of the day.
The directives. So your opponent has alleged that people are not, his delegates are not getting...
He doesn't have any delegates. They are the Ablekuma West polling station executives. Everybody will get accreditation.
And he's also alleging that the delegates have been camped.
Where? That's where everybody is being given breakfast. If you go there right now, anybody who wants to eat, and I don't discriminate. So anyone who votes in Ablekuma West who wants to eat, pass by, have breakfast, come and vote. Nobody's under lock and key there. So I don't know what they mean by camping. Camping in the real sense of the word. You block them up somewhere all night and then carry them in a bus to the gate to vote. That's camping. But this is an open place where people walk in, pick up their breakfast, and walk to come and vote. How on earth can that be camping? Well, he hasn't ever done serious campaigning in this constituency, so he doesn't know what it takes to organize an election and to win an election. We'll teach him a few lessons along the way.
Day at 7 o'clock in the morning, there hasn't been any skirmishes. Things have been normal. Voting is smooth. It is 9:27 and there are 228 voters who have voted now. Security is on the ground. Voters have comported themselves and everything has come here. There hasn't been any problem.
How many in total are you expecting?
I'm expecting 628 voters, and as 228 have voted now, I know we can beat the closing time of 2 o'clock as has been fixed by the party.
Has there been
any voter representation or proxy? Even people who are sick, when they come, they seek assistance in terms of helping screen to cast their ballot. In fact, I was surprised when I saw one in a situation like that. The person seemed very sick, and both the left and the right armpits, he had to be assisted by people into the voting screen. I'm saying this person is sick. He should have been allowed to rest, but that was not the case. So there hasn't been any proxy voting here. Everything has been smooth.
Some areas people come in, they don't find their names.
There hasn't been any instance where someone comes and the name is not found. It looks like the delegates have already been briefed that they are part of it. I think when the candidates were seeking their votes, they made them know that they are part. So those who are not part have not been here, and so there has not been any case of someone not finding his or her name in the register.
Lastly, you can see a lot of police officers here. Are they enough to ensure safety?
As for security, I have never even witnessed this kind of security arrangements. It is even more than enough here. We thank the district commander and the divisional commander for their good work done. They have done very well. Everything is calm on the grounds here. Yeah.
Thank you.
This has been our coverage of the NPP's parliamentary primaries in constituencies where it has sitting MPs. We'll go on a quick break. We'll be back shortly with more on this all-important contest.
There are strong women whose stories teach us perseverance, logic, decisiveness, and self-confidence. Being strong is not just about physical abilities, but also emotional, intellectual, and mental strength. Women's Voice is a platform to hear and share stories to encourage women and girls. Women are the real architects of society. It is they who provide the foundation of
the public sphere.
Samuela, the news.
Dominic, Energy News.
Esther, Business News.
Hagar, the art and entertainment news.
Gifty, legends of our time.
Theophilus, Sports.
Mabel, Energy News.
Pascaline, Women's Voice.
Rahmatu, the news.
Edward, Market Avenue.
Humu, Reporters Roundtable.
Sarah, the news.
Winifred, Wash R.
Morris, Business News.
Nana Ichan, the news.
Michelin, news at 2.
George, Focus, and Weekly Press.
Thelma, the news.
Jonathan, the news.
Shirley, the news. Thank you for keeping faith with us.
This is GBC News, your trusted news channel.
The 2024 Npp Parliamentary Primaries is just some 30 minutes past 1, and so voting should be wrapping up in some of the constituencies where the delegates are not too many in terms of number. We are still here in the studio trying to connect to our men on the ground to bring you up to speed as to what's happening in the various constituencies. There's just been some pockets of violence in some of the constituency, not widespread though, as we've monitored, our correspondents have monitored across the country. So we're gearing up to the counting of ballots at 2 p.m. when the whole process comes to an end. We'll be on standby to tell you who is won which particular constituency and who is lost. So I've been joined in studio by Alfred Thompson. He's a member of the Npp National Communications team. I still have in the studio, Loratu Musa Saka. She's also a member of the Npp National Communications team. She's been with us since morning, trying to help us through the figures and the facts that surround the various constituencies in terms of this particular primary. I welcome you to the studio, Alfred.
Thank you.
Right, and I guess we've been monitoring the whole process yourself, watching TV, listening on the ground, and what have you. What do you pick up in terms of how the process has been so far?
I'll say kudos to the national executives, especially for a yeoman's job. At least the whole of today, we are making news. We've taken the airwaves, and we are letting people see that NPP is a party that you have to be with, reckon with, join them. Not just because we are a party, but we are a formidable force, and we always walk the talk. There are challenges, but we always walk the talk that is expected of us. So I'll say kudos to them. And also, I'll say a very big kudos to His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. Throughout all this campaign, you realize that he's taking himself out. He doesn't want to support any candidate. He said that everybody should go on their own accord. And so you don't, whether you are his brother, his sister from his office, from a very good friend or everything, when you go to him, he'll give you his blessings and tell you that you have to go on your own, because that is the best way of getting the right candidate in every constituency. So you realize that in the various constituencies, you don't have issues that much. People are fighting to make sure that they win their own game. And that's where you will now be recognized by the party, and we take it on the next level. Because I know that this year is going to be a special year. It's a year that the possibilities will work, because he's advised us that when you wake up in the morning and you live in your house, before you leave, you should put it in your mind that everything is possible. So once I walk out of this door, what I'm going to push, what I'm going to fight for, what I'm going to aim at, it should be possible for me to make it. And that is what shows that this is a sign of a good leader, not a leader who comes to complain to you, not a leader who comes to tell you that, oh, I also have these issues and that issues, I also don't like this person or that person, but a leader who gives you hope and gives you direction and tells you that whatever you are doing can be done. So you realize that most of our candidates are towing that line. Right. When they are going with confidence, it's not about winning. It's about the party winning. It's not about one candidate winning. It's about the party coming out with more candidates or more parliamentary reps at the end of the day. So everybody is working to make sure that if I can touch the grassroots now, then it means that we can work together to make sure this works out. Right. And that is what is panning out around the constituencies. But as human as we are, definitely there will be jealousy here and there. There will be people who will be offended here and there. But it's all part of the game called politics.
Are there any constituencies you are monitoring for? I mean, for pleasure, as a political watcher. Are there any constituencies
are you expecting surprises?
Surprises in terms of
across the board. Are you expecting some surprises in the MPship?
Of course. Yes, I mean there are surprises in almost every primary.
From 2 o'clock, you start seeing some.
Sure,
definitely there'll be surprises.
But are there any constituencies you have interest in? Maybe where you dwell, or any other constituency, maybe your friend?
One lovely one I'll say is Bantama. I'll say kudos to Asen. So he's carried himself well so far, and he's doing very well against all the odd that came on him. It rather made him shine more, and he's humbled himself to carry it out well. When you look at what he has gone on since morning, I've been monitoring him, and kudos to Virus, who has been his backbone and backbencher. He's been helping him throughout this. So he's done quite well over there. Another place I would say very well and very good too is Ewutu Senya East.
Okay.
You know Ewutu Senya East?
Sure.
Ogede. That place, I say that is not a contest. It's just a showing up of a face. The people want to be known and seen that, okay, they've also come into the race. Because Hawa is a force to reckon with. I mean, she's someone who is formidable. She's someone who, at the end of the day, you can say that when you give her a job, she'll deliver. I mean, she's up to the task. When you go to the constituency, she's done with everybody. She has time to listen to you. She has time to advise you. She has time to help you where she can. And she has time to direct you where she has to do. So she's someone that you can't just come and say that I'm going to unseat Hawa tomorrow morning and that is done. I mean,
but his contender Kuku Boateng is also promising to be a man of the people, promising to create more jobs for the youth in the music industry, tailoring, and what have you.
Did he say he wanted to be the man of a man of the people?
Sure. I mean, that's one of
when you are going into a contest, the first thing you have to do is that look for your opponent's weakness, and that is what you use. Your opponent is a woman for the people, so that is not a weakness. So when you go and say that, people will tell you straight away that but she's doing what you want to do for her. So what is the big deal? You see, so these are some of the things that, as a contender, when you are going into politics or when you are going into a competition, you have to look at what is my opponent's main weakness, and that is your main delivery in doing this or in getting things done. And I don't think he's got it right at the beginning. I wish him well, though. I mean, it's a contest. I wish him well, and I
think he's also done very well for himself. I mean, he's been on the ground in terms of publicity and all that.
But that is the aim. You see, when you are going to fight a big fish, your first aim is just to make sure that you are well, you are seen, you are known by most people, and that's what he's doing.
Right. But when we go to Bantama, you don't think that the status quo will repeat itself, where they change their?
It's not a status quo.
The MPs almost every. But I mean,
went twice.
For the better parts of that particular
you can't call it once there is that thing there, you can't call it a status quo.
But so you don't think that particular trend can affect this particular elections in a Bantama?
Why do you want it to affect it? It will only affect it if the candidate wasn't working.
Okay.
Has he worked? Yes, he's worked. Has he got faults? Yes, as a human being, he has faults.
Right.
There's not everyone who would like him, definitely. But when you go there now, you hear the opponents shouting and fighting and saying that, listen, we should go 110. What is 110? What is 110? I mean, that is not why you are coming there. Tell me what you have to deliver to the people. As in, so when he was coming the first time, didn't come to make promises that I'll do A, B, C, D, but he's shown the people that he has love for them. The humility. This morning, they called him to a prayer. They prayed with him in the church, the women, and in politics, when the women support you, that is it too. Go and ask anyone, if you go and the women don't support you, because they are going to sing your song, they are going to convince the people for you. So if the ladies don't support you, then it means you are in big trouble. So that is one thing. They called him to a prayer, they danced with him, they sang praises and everything, and they went to cast their votes. So that alone is a sign.
You also think the Kennedy Japan factor can do anything at all?
Kennedy was going for presidential. This is parliamentary.
We've seen him support candidates.
This is parliamentary. Let me tell you one thing. The mere fact that someone likes me doesn't mean you can convince the person to like your brother. It doesn't work that way. It's individual interest. And the person feels that, oh, this guy I can work with, this guy I'm enjoying, this guy I'm with. Why should I go and vote for a brother? Because if I need something, am I going to tell you to come and tell your brother? Or am I going to convince you for your brother to come and do it for me? I need access to the person. I need that direct contact. And I don't think Ralph has shown that. I mean, if You are waiting. If once or quietly the person comes to do campaign there for you and everything, it's good. But if the person comes to stand there openly and says that, oh, if you people vote for this particular candidate, I'm going to bring out all the things he's done. Why don't you tell me now? Why couldn't you tell me now? Why are you waiting for him to win before you come and say that you are going to campaign against him? So it tells you straight away that, oh, I mean, it's not on. You are not accepting this. And when you speak to the delegates, they'll tell you that, listen, Opo is our dish here. At the moment, he's our MP. He's the one representing us. So when you come and you run him down, you are running the constituency down. So, I mean, it's good. Bantama, we always know Bantama is always in the news for all the good things for NPP. So, it's a way of also promoting Bantama constituency.
Right. One of the constituencies we've really taken time to discuss is the Dominic constituency, and I suppose you have some interest in that constituency as well.
Have you checked Eastern Region? There are a lot of interesting places in Eastern Region. Deputy Finance Minister's place. Have you checked that place?
It's what East.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you gone there? Have you looked at the dynamics there?
No, we've not.
You should look at that place too. Right. I mean, it's quite interesting. She's doing very well, but it seems like there are challenges. I mean, definitely. Even though there are, I think, 3 or 4 of them. There are 4 of them going now.
Okay.
But there's like one particular candidate, there's still something Banini or something, who is really at the neck with it. So we should look at some of these things and check. Address Afoso, and I'll leave it for them to handle.
But who wins that constituency should be a matter of concern for your party.
The delegates,
especially how the trend has been.
The delegates
between the MPP and the NDC.
The delegates know what is important on the floor for us over there. And I know they are going to make a choice, and the choice will be good for the party. Whatever it is, the choice will be good for the party. You see, there are 2 schools of thoughts. One says Adjoa Safo did not treat the party well, so she shouldn't come. There's another school of thought who say, and also the second one is that she also, if she wins the elections, they'll be shocked. I mean, that's why should Adjoa take us through all this and win this time. Another school of thought also feels that, listen, she's a mother, she has her own issues, she's come out with her problems, and she's come to tell us, why don't we give her a chance to prove herself, whether good or bad? But both of them also ride on the back of their dad, whether you like it or not. Adjoa Safo rides on that of Kwadwo Safo, Apostle Kwadwo Safo, and Michael Kwe Jr. rides also on the back of Michael Kwe Sr.
Sure.
So they are also using that as a bait to get the people in. And the dynamics are quite interesting. I wish both of them good luck. I wish both of them good luck.
Okay.
It's just unfortunate that Sheila is not shining in this at the moment. I'm sure it's a way of showing her face.
This is the first time, really.
No, usually when there's a big battle like that and you do your homework well, you can be the compromise candidate.
Yeah.
But she couldn't get to that level, because it starts, with elections. If you really want to know the way you are going to go around it, it starts with the election of the polling station executives.
Okay.
That is when you have an idea. Even though people can tap into your strongholds within that enclave, but still it gives you an idea of your performance in a battle ahead of you.
Okay. How many other people emerge winners in the
sometimes people will come and tell you, oh, but I have 17 or I have even 10 out of the 10 elected constituency executives. It doesn't work that way, because take W. Kwambeja, for example. They have about 1,200 or 1,400 delegates,
Sure.
1,400 and something delegates. Now, you take 17 out of it. If you have all the 17 executives, 17 out of 1,400, the rest, who is going to take? And it's by numbers, 50 plus 1.
Sure.
Or the highest bidder, not even 50 plus 1, but the highest person who gets, not bidder, the highest person who gets the votes. So the dynamics, you always have to check it and make sure that you are getting the right thing.
Loretta, we've been in the studio since morning. Are there any other issues you picked up from the ground in terms of how the process has traveled so far? Security, vote buying, pockets of confusion here and there.
As for people having disagreements, it's normal in any competition.
Yeah, sure.
Everybody is in to win. Nobody goes and invests into this venture and thinks that they are going to lose. Some even know that, okay, I'm going against a candidate, obviously, I cannot win against. But that visibility alone is their motivation. People go into contests for various reasons. They know they can't win, but they know that they become visible in the constituency. When it comes to other considerations, the MP already has what they are looking for, so they'll also be considered for other positions. So people go into these contests for different reasons. But as for issues and all that, we've seen the security issues that have come up and how quickly they've been resolved for processes to proceed. I mean, we're barely about 10 minutes away from the stipulated time of ending polls, but that is the standard. Once you're in the queue before 2 p.m. or before the time that polls are supposed to end, you'll be allowed to vote. But I think by now, the constituencies with the lower numbers, like 300, 400 delegates, should be done by now. We should be having results strictly in it. There will be surprises. Some will be maintained. Definitely some will lose based on how they appeal to the delegates. I mean, delegates, with all that they look for, know the candidates that can make their jobs easier. And definitely will go in for candidates that are marketable and can easily win the seats for us.
This particular exercise is a pointer to your efforts in breaking the 8.
Yes.
Don't forget that we have a hung parliament, and so if you want to break the 8, you want to have majority in parliament. What have you done as a party to ensure that you increase the numbers, in the 2024 elections to have a stronghold of parliament? I mean, should we emerge winners in the 2024 elections?
As I mentioned earlier, you learn from your lessons.
Okay.
You make things better. And if you've seen from the presidential primaries through often constituency primaries to this one, the process has been transparent. Every petition, every suggestion, every allegation, if I may, has been dealt with and dealt with well. Usually, issues that would have been overlooked are taken to committees and they go as high as the National Council for Determination. The National Council is the second largest decision-making body of our party. Then it comes to the National Executive Council. And all directives, the modalities, everything that has come out have always gone at least to the National Executive Council, which is the third largest decision-making body of our party. You also look at the various articles in our Constitution, and this particular process is governed by Article 12 of our Constitution. So everything that goes in there is the interest of the party. If you read the goodwill message that Chairman Intim, our national chairman, came out with, it was all about unity. It was all about everybody discharging themselves as worthy candidates and making sure that whatever the results that come out at the end of the day. This is an internal contest. We are breaking the 8, inshallah, but we have to break it and break it well. That is the whole.
You think breaking the 8 is an easy task?
Well,
given
if you look at
what has gone on, how our economy has been battered and affected, and how that affects the ordinary Ghanaian on the ground, and how Ghanaians, are complaining in these times.
I don't think the ordinary Ghanaian will want a government that throws its arms in the air when there are challenges, as compared to a government that says, yes, this is the situation, this is the challenge, but we'll succumb it. Will you go for the one who sells hope, who gives you hope, than the one who says, forget about it, nothing good is going to come out of it? Ghanaians are discerning people. Ghanaians know who is really passionate about the forward march of this country. And there's no doubt that by the time we're done with this process and set to come out with our policies and our manifesto, led by now our flag bearer and leader of the New Patriotic Party, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, you see that Ghanaians know who they can trust to move this nation forward.
All right, so Alfred, we'll be taking our viewers through some of the interesting constituencies. I mean, we started that way early in the morning.
Have you checked Western?
Esikado? No, we've not done that. So we go through the process. But I just want your take on breaking the 8 and how easy or difficult that is for your party.
I told you about the world of possibilities, and this year is a year of possibilities. And I'm telling you on authority that the next government will be formed by His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Don't take that away from him. You see, when you have a leader who is positive, a leader who inspires, a leader who looks at creating avenues for especially the youth of the country, why do you want to throw that leader away? As against a leader who tells you that, nothing can be achieved, and can be achieved in 20 years and above, when he has left office. Meanwhile, he enjoyed that same path that we wanted to make our youth get. Today, look at how our youth are coming out. Yes, there are challenges. Yes, when they come out after training them, you need to give them the avenue to have jobs.
Sure.
So what do? Now we sit down and look at the way of bringing in skills training, especially for making sure that the TVET, technical vocational educational training, works very well. After your skills training, what do? They give you funding to start your own business, because government are saying that, listen, when someone is into plumbing, I can employ over 1,000 or over 100,000 plumbers in Ghana. So what do? I give them the funding to start their own businesses. That is a right thinking government, what they do to support their people. Right. You can call it that you haven't created jobs because the population is going high. Fine, you can decide that way. But we are deciding, and we are taking the steps, a bold decision to make sure that the new GA that Dr. Bamiwan launched, I think last week or last 2 weeks, we realized that it's youth targeted. The with NEIP. You know, with the youth and what they call it, something in a box. Jobs in a box, or 5 million.
The one supported by the foundation.
The MasterCard Foundation and everything. Yeah. So you see that we are always looking for avenues where we can support our youth. And it's run by Kosi Yankee and her team. And they are doing a wonderful job over there. Over the last few years, check and see which, within the Fourth Republic, the government that has really worked to find funding for the youth, supporting youth in their own businesses. You can see that under Dr. Bawumia's support with Nanado, they have done so much. They have done marvelously well. And you can't take that away from him. You talked about the economy and how things are going. Listen, there's a global economic crunch. You can't take it away from us that, yes, there's a global economic crunch. And Ghana is not on an island. Ghana is part of the whole system. So if there is a global thing and we have our challenges, like my sister rightly said, we didn't throw our hands in despair. We didn't say that Yare and Namnaka don't pay. And I keep on asking this question. So Yare and Namnaka don't pay. And you claim that even they don't pay, we've come to chew it and destroy it. Then what business do you have coming back? What are you come to look for over there? It tells me that you know very well that we have put in a right foundation that is bringing up. NPP always comes back after every 8 years to make sure that they bring their country back. And let me tell Ghanaians truthfully today that you let us work so hard and put the country in the right path. You take it back to Papano and his people, and at the end of the day, they bring their country back to its feet.
And I think that this is a conversation we can have after the end.
No. It's part of breaking the 8. You asked me about breaking the 8. They even for 4 years, you tell me that for 4 years you cannot, as a leader, you cannot change the country.
So and
you ask me for honeymoon as well. Let me end this one quickly so that I give you the details of the election, because this is about breaking the
various constituencies. We'll go for a short break to make way.
Let me just end this one, because if you don't let me end, when you come back, if you don't let me end within the next 2 minutes, when I come back, I'm going to take a full 1 hour to explain this very well.
I mean, we have a lot of
viewers.
time.
It would have taken viewers' minds back.
We have a lot of time after
so let me just end it so that we go on to another topic.
Counting might have started, and then we'll continue the conversation.
So that we go on another topic.
You're still watching our coverage of the 2024 MPP primaries. We want to go for a short break and make way for the news at 2. when we come back, voting might have started in the various constituencies. We'll be bringing you, might have ended, sorry. We'll be bringing you the figures as to who is winning and who is losing. You want to stay with us? A short break. We'll continue.
There are strong women whose stories teach us perseverance, logic, decisiveness, and self-confidence. Being strong is not just about physical abilities, but also emotional, intellectual, and mental strength. Women's Voice is a platform to hear and share stories to encourage women and girls. Women are the real architects of society. It is they who provide the foundation of power, grace, wisdom, justice, creativity, and hope. Join us live every Monday at 4 p.m. on GBC News and GTV. Wednesdays live at 4 p.m. on GBC News and a repeat on Saturdays at 4 p.m. on GBC News and Sundays at 3 p.m. also on GBC News. Women's Voice. No one can make you inferior without your consent.
Pursuant to the MOU signed in June 2021 between the NMC, NCA, GJA, GIBA, PRINPAG, BOG, and other stakeholders, the NMC and NCA will from 1st November 2023 activate a hotline for the receipt of complaints against egregious media content. When you see or hear content on money doubling, promotion of adult content at inappropriate hours, promotion of ritual murders, charlatanic advertising, and other unethical breaches, please call the hotline 0800-419-666 on all networks. Remember, the toll-free number is 0800-419-666 on all networks. The NMC Complaints Settlement Committee will within 30 days examine and make a determination on your complaint. 0800-419-666. Call the regulators and together, let's check egregious media content.
Tobacco smoking, the silent killer. Each time someone takes a puff, they take 7,000 chemicals into their lungs. Even pregnant women and non-smokers are at risk.
I treat cancer patients. Most of my patients are cancer, and most of them have a history of smoking. Some stopped 10 years, 20 years ago. The consequences are being felt now.
Eventually, people are left to die.
Tobacco smoking is killing people. It is causing more harm.
The trending ones like the shisha is what is on the increasing now.
An estimated 8 million persons globally die of smoking each year. 700,000 men and approximately 25,000 women in Ghana smoke daily, killing more than 6,000 and